in a three-piece.
I mean, we are most certainly in our prom outfits.
Yeah, we are matching. We are, and we're joined by our chaperones here. We have Mina, Dan, and Swagoo in the Texas denim. He's bringing it today. All right, let's go. Right, we're on the eve of the divisional games. We're going to talk first about Sam Darnold because this popped up this week. This surprise addition to the injury report, the oblique injury, listed as questionable for tomorrow's game against the Niners, but he has said he's good to go. Here's Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald with an update. This was just moments ago.
Talking about Sam, heard what he said yesterday to you guys. That's I see it the same way. So we're listing him as questionable. Really optimistic he's going to be able to play, and right now we're going through all the protocol. One out of caution to make sure we're ready to go, and we'll test it out tomorrow to kind of make the final decision. But we're optimistic he's going to play, and if he doesn't, or at some point he doesn't, then Drew's ready to go, and that's why Drew's here. He's doing a great job.
Let's start with our quarterback, Dan. That oblique injury, how do you think that could potentially affect the game plan?
I think we'll know early on how significant this injury is, if at all, if Sam Darnold plays. I think, number one, how he moves and how he drives the football. We got to remember that this is a quarterback that doesn't play as a statue. In this offense with Clint Kubiak as their play caller, they move him around a ton. They boot him a ton. They keeper game a ton. They get him in the play action game. And so to be able to do that, obviously that oblique and their ability to turn and then get away from people is going to be a really big deal. So I would pay attention early on, play calling wise from Seattle. Are they doing that? And then I think the second thing is, can he drive the football? A lot of quarterbacks, when they drive the football, it's a torque. It's a complete turn of your upper body, really from the hips up. And so I think paying attention early on to just the play calls, do they fall in line with who Seattle is? Because I think if they do, that tells me they feel good about the injury. If they're a little bit more keeping him stationary, I think that oblique's got something to it.
Well, the good news is I don't believe it'll strain his oblique to do what I expect them to do very heavily in this game, which is he's going to hand the ball off to the running backs. The last time these teams played in Week 18, Seattle ran the ball very efficiently. They used 2 running backs, 21 personnel. They put the fullback on the field at the second highest rate of the season, and when they did so, for 11 yards, they averaged over 6 yards a clip. This Niners run defense is a glaring weakness. Now, this is where Dan's point about the boots comes in. They did hit on a couple of shot plays off of play action off of that. And Sam, they do tend to put him under center and boot him. And so that would be something you would want to keep an eye on, as Dan said, because at some point, the Niners are going to get, when the Seahawks put 21 personnel, the Niners are going to add an extra linebacker, and there will be opportunities to throw. But I do expect a very run-heavy game plan because it is what worked in Week 18, and I don't see this defense improving against it.
Yeah, MK, I agree with you. From the 2020 end, obviously, their plan should be the same, but this team has to get better in the red zone. This was a 13-3 game with some opportunities in that area of the field. Y'all not going to believe where Seattle ranks after Week 8 in the NFL in the red zone. They are 3rd worst to the Jets and the Saints. And I'm not sure if that's the inability to run. Obviously, the field gets condensed, but Sam Darnold has to make good decisions when they do call on him to make a play with this arm in the red zone, not take those negative plays, but more importantly, get points. I think that's going to be critical. I don't know if, like we saw the San Francisco defense a few weeks ago, and we didn't think that they would have a shot to do anything in the playoffs based on how they played against the Chicago Bears. This defense is playing better, and the red zone is one of their strengths. So Seattle has to pay close attention. I expect it to be a low-scoring game like it was the first time. But when they get in the red area, they got to capitalize and at least get in the end zone once or twice.
Yeah, I mean, both games, listen, you want to hit the under on this if you have the option. But because the games were so low scoring, Swagoo mentioned it, only 3 points on the board for the Niners 2 weeks ago. No George Kittle. What can they do?
I don't know. Kyle Shanahan better pull out his Ethan Hunt bag because this does feel like mission impossible for the San Francisco 49ers. Now, we watched last week, and Kyle Shanahan was able to do that. But the difference between Vic Fangio's defense and Mike Macdonald's is I knew exactly, and they knew exactly where Vic Fangio's defense would line up. He knew Demarcus Robinson would have that opportunity for that one-on-one, or Juwan Jennings could find the space within the three deep zone. It's not the same thing this week. And so how do you get Kyle Juszczyk involved, as we saw in the second half? Christian McCaffrey free of guys like Nick Eamon-Warry and also backers who can run sideline to sideline and tackle. The difficulty in this game is you do not have the matchup in your favor anywhere but the running back position. And I would have to guess for Mike McDonald, he will have everyone keyed in on CMC.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll see a Jennings to CMC fun, some trickeration like we did last week. But let's check out our picks. And I hate to make you nervous, Mina, but
not nervous at all.
No.
Off the jump.
Okay. So, we're all, this is the gong. We're all, there it is.
Very comfortable.
Gong is a little late, you know, on this.
Yeah, I mean, because we've done so well with the gong this year.
Have we?
I don't think it's as much of an issue as it used to be. And if we're all wrong here, then football's all flubbed up.
And if we're all wrong, the Niners have pulled off the impossible yet again. All right, the Hawks just a win away from their 5th conference championship game. They haven't been there since 2014. Okay, time now for some top stories. Starting in H-Town, Texans wide receiver Nico Collins has been ruled out for Sunday's game at the Patriots due to a concussion. Oh, no. Collins led Houston in catches, receiving yards, tied for the team lead for receiving touchdowns. RC said huge. That is a huge, huge loss. Okay, Mike Vrabel said Patriots cornerback Christian Gonzalez is questionable heading into their matchup with the Texans. Gonzalez suffered a concussion in their win last week against the
It's round 3 between the Niners and Seahawks in the divisional round. Seattle's Sam Darnold is questionable after tweaking his oblique yesterday. Darnold said he felt a little something, but said that he will play. Darnold struggled against San Fran this year, failing to throw a touchdown in either contest. With George Kittle out, the Niners will lean heavily on Christian McCaffrey, who has found the end zone in all 8 of his playoff games, the longest streak to begin a career in NFL postseason history. The Seahawks are the #1 seed for the 4th time in franchise history. Each of the previous 3 instances resulted in Seattle reaching the Super Bowl, most recently in 2014. All right, let's welcome back Jeremy Fowler and Mina Kimes to the show. And Jeremy, not the best time for your quarterback to be dealing with injury, but what's the latest on Sam Darnold going into this weekend?
Yeah, so I checked in with somebody with the team. I'm told he is still scheduled to play, plans to play, no setbacks right now. So he had that little tweak during the practice yesterday. Could have kept practicing, but he figured, let me just rest a little bit, give my backup Drew Lock some precious reps. I know the 49ers are fully expecting Darnold to play, and they expect him to play well. They know they're going to have to frustrate him, fluster him in the pocket, try to get as many hands and hits on him as possible in a raucous environment in Seattle that's bound to be crazy.
Yeah, definitely going to be crazy out there in Seattle. Mina, I want to bring it to you. A lot of factors to consider in this matchup. Sam Darnold didn't throw a single touchdown against the Niners in the regular season, and San Fran dealing with a ton of injuries. What's going to be the deciding factor in this game?
Yeah, I mean, you hit it. It's that red zone offense. It's why the Week 18 game had a score that maybe didn't reflect how dominant the Seahawks were for much of the game, particularly obviously on defense. Missed field goals also factored into that, them only putting up 13 points. But going over 3 in the red zone was big. He had an opportunity to hit one of the Seahawks running backs, Zach Charbonnet, in the flat, and he didn't make the throw. I think he's going to have to hit those in this one. And this is an issue, by the way, that's been going on for longer. Weeks 1 through 9, Seattle ranked 3rd in red zone touchdown percentage, over 70% of the time. From week 11 onward, that dropped to 30th. So this is not just a single game issue for Seattle. They have been worse in the red zone. They're going to have to score more than they did, I believe, the last time to win this one.
And Jeremy, just really quickly, I mentioned those Niners injuries. How are they looking coming into this matchup?
Well, they've been pretty beat up. You got George Kittle, of course, is out. All their defensive players almost, it feels like they are out. But they should get some good news with Ricky Pearsall, who has been in and out of the lineup for most of the last couple weeks. He is questionable, but he is hopeful that he can try to go. Optimistic that he can get over the hump, suit up tomorrow. That'd be big news. Linebacker D. Winters is questionable, but they'll see how he feels over the next 24 hours.
Round 3 between these two teams. We'll see who gets the win when it matters most. Jeremy and Mina with the latest. Thanks so much. Jay, what you got?
Mina, I got our sports betting analyst, Anita Marks, back with us. So give us a prop, my friend, that you're playing in Niners Seahawks.
So I'm wearing my George Kittle t-shirt. Unfortunately, as Jeremy told us, he's going to be inactive, so not attractive. So Jake Tonges is going to step in a big way. I like over 36.5 receiving yards for him heading into this matchup. Why? Huge presence when George Kittle is not active. Missed weeks 2 to 6. Because of a hamstring injury. Tonges had a 16% target share, over 200 receiving yards, 2 of his 5 touchdowns. I'm expecting Seattle to go up early, so they're going to get an early lead. I think for the 49ers are going to be very pass happy. And the Seattle defense, they're pretty soft against opposing tight ends. Tight ends, 28% of the receptions, 8th most in the NFL, and they average 7.5 yards per reception. So Tongas, to me, I think he's going to have a big day. So I like the over in receiving yards, and if you can play him in DFS, run, don't walk, my friend.
All right, Anita.